versus Kingzone.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's people like to overrate Korean teams and shit because I watch every single region. That way I get a basic understanding of all of them. Like
Yeah.
LPL, I can't watch it live because whenever they play LPL live and LCK live, I have to choose between the two, and then I'll just pick the LCK. And it's kind of sad though because the LPL, I don't even know why they stream on YouTube, dude. Honestly, they get like 1,000 viewers. Like,
Yeah. I don't know why they're doing Kespa Cup on YouTube either. They've been having issues with it. Also, sometimes like YouTube will just black it out, and then they'll have to
dark mode and shit.
It's like it's been really really strange. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean. I've always liked Korea. I've always watched LCK. I've always thought they were the best.
Bro, I watched LCK since they had fucking CJ Antis and that shit.
The way that they draft just puts them in a hole, like immediately.
And then people want to give them their shitty excuses. Oh, this is the reason why. Oh, this reason, that reason. But if that was a North American team, you never hear the end of that shit. But if it's a Korean team and they mess up in drafting, it's whatever. Fuck that shit.
The only person that I ever hear give Koreans a lot of shit about their drafting is LS.
Actually, I actually started watching his recent content and his older videos to get a point of him. I actually like what he has to say about the game. He's not stupid.
No, I know. I like LS a lot. I mean, yeah, he comes off as a bit of a dick, but I mean, that's just his personality. I can live with that.
Hedgie, are you dead or are you alive?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, it's a bit late.
But you're dead or alive?
I'm alive.
Hey, you're the one from Australia?
Yeah, he's the other main guy.
Yeah. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are with Riot pulling out of the OPL, not funding it anymore.
Yeah, it's really bad actually.
No, I agree. I actually used to watch OPL.
I watched OPL too, dude. I was like, hey, I'm a new League of Legends player. Oceanic came on like Twitch. I was like, whatever, these guys can't be that bad. Little did I know. Dude, back in 2015, I think I was watching Direwolves play like some real shit team. And then this is back when fucking Varus came. Remember mid Varus became a thing because of Power of Evil? And then Faker played it. So I saw them play Varus, Caitlyn, Jace, and then one team tried to base race against that, and then they lost in like 20 minutes. This is so bad. Oh, Direwolves, my gosh, holy crap.
Now it's going to be even worse because they've lost all the good players, so it's a bit
really. Yeah, they've lost everything.
Because Direwolves are what? Direwolves are the most known ones, and who else? It was the Chiefs, right?
Mammoths, Chiefs.
Mammoths, Chiefs, Direwolves, that one.
Yeah. Those are really the main ones I remember. I know that I think there was a team called Legacy. Is that right?
Yeah. I can't remember where he. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember who that was. I just can't remember the freaking players who were on that team because like you have like
I can't remember.
Carbon.
You have like random Koreans go to there, like fucking what's his name? Tortoro will go there.
Yeah.
Ray.
The only thing is you're not gonna have that anymore, which is kind of unfortunate.
Hedgie, I actually never asked you this, dude. What do you think about Spawn?
He's okay.
Really?
I don't really like him at Worlds. Like he's kind of, I don't know. He just kind of says the same stuff every year.
Worlds is really really irritating for NA, but it must be extremely irritating for the Oceanic region, huh?
Yeah, like I don't know. It comes to casters, like Spawn's okay. He's not bad. It's just I feel like a lot of casters say the same stuff. Like play by play is different because like they're always going to be entertaining, right? But like analysts need to talk about different things. Like predictions aren't smart. Does that make sense? Like if you predict something, you're smart.
Yeah.
Right? You need to actually talk about the game, and they always just talk about the game in a really loaded way that like you're not really talking about.
Like they're talking about
anything.
It in like
yeah, in such a like I know I kind of do this sometimes as well, but it's like such a.
You would never make any mistakes. What are you talking about? Go on.
in such a generalistic way that like it doesn't make any sense what they're saying. It's just they're just kind of talking about it. Like Frostgren and stuff. The way she talks, I just hate it.
They do that. They do that.
Say anything.
They do that because they said it's easier for people who don't really watch as much competitive league to get an easier barrier to entry to understand how it's going on.
Sure, but that's why Ellis is the best analyst in the world, because he actually talks about everything the way he sees it, and he talks about really smart, intricate things that not a lot of people talk about, and that's like what.
Yeah, I like Ellis a lot also.
Except when he starts saying shit like, you know, could this team beat Jenner? You know, like outside of that and his like weird trolling that he does, he's actually pretty good. I like him.
He definitely does troll, but I'm okay with it.
I actually I think Yamato Cannon is actually pretty underrated when it comes to people on like Worlds like analyst decks.
He's okay. He knows his stuff, but he's also not good because he coached Vitality and they had no idea draft.
See that is right there why, because it's hard to say. What do you do as a caster? Do you explain things for the common Iron player to understand, or do you explain things for the Challenger level players, like the players between like Gold through Challenger?
I think you have to have a nice balance between the
that's what I'm saying. Like Ellis has a balance, doesn't he? Like he talks about intricate things, but he also. You can watch it as an average.
But the thing is, like even though he sees things that maybe not the average player or stuff will see, he'll explain it, and at least to me, it makes sense. And then honestly, he has made me, obviously without even knowing, made me a much better player because I learned from a lot of what he puts out there. And it was the same thing with Papa Smithy. Like, I loved listening to him as well because he would really get down deep into it, explain it as it was going on. And for me, that's how I learn. Like, I have to see it, somebody explain it as it's happening, and then it sticks in my head, you know?
Wow. I am going to be a much better player too. Now, because like when I first started, I was accustomed to the NA broadcast and the EU broadcast.
Are we just talking? Are we recording?
No, wink, wink. Oh, sorry. LOL podcast season 1 episode 11. This is the final episode in the season 1 podcast. Thanks to everybody who's actually been tuning in so far. Me. So today I wanted to give you guys a chance to do your power rankings. Now my power rankings will be on a separate video because I have to have my ideas separate from you guys. I'll chime in.
Special, aren't you, Joe?
I'm gonna chime in because I have to do my own because I don't want my opinion influencing your guys's, because obviously I'm usually always right. So I'm gonna take all my glory to myself when I predict Cloud9's gonna win the split. But
all right,
but yeah, you guys will have the floor tonight. I'll obviously come in if you want me to, but however you guys feel to go out about it, go 10 through 1 or 1 through 10, or if you guys have tier lists, go with that. But yeah, how are you guys doing? How was your holidays? You know, how was your really?
I'm literally dying because there's smoke here, and because I'm in Australia right now for the bushfires, and like there's a smoke haze where I'm living, and it's like actually just fucked. Like I walked outside for like an hour. I was outside for an hour. My throat is on fire.
Are you actually smoking? I was gonna say, are you
dying?
Dude, I hate that. Dude, don't you just hate that? And when you're actually physically sick, so someone comes up to you and like, "Are you okay?" No, idiot. I'm actually dying. Can you not see it? Your arm's all broken and shit. So I was like, "Hey, are you okay, man?" No, stupid fuck.
About power rankings today.
Oh yeah. So, I
mean,
who is your Mango? Who is your 10th place team?
My 10th place team, yeah. So whenever I go through mine, I'm gonna go through 10 to 1.
Okay.
So
can I not interrupt?
No.
No.
Never.
You go ahead.
Never. I hope a shark eats you.
Should we do it like each person does their 1 and then we move on, or do we do like I do 1 to 10 and Mango does 1 to 10? Like I'm just wondering how we're gonna do
it. You can just do it one team at a time.
Yeah, maybe just to see how we differ, and then we can come back and explain.
If you do one team at a time, people will get a better analyst of it. If you just go through like 10 through 1, people will just kind of just like, click off. Those bastards that did dislike the video, because we're going to put TSM at... I'm going to put TSM at 6th place, and then I'm going to get like 8 dislikes.
Damn.
Perfect. All right, so
you can go ahead and go first.
All right.
Hedgie,
Wait,
what
so
is your...
am I doing one and then you're doing one? Or...
No, 10.
I'm starting from 10.
I'm so sorry. Ah,
Yeah.
you're starting from 10?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go from 10, 9, 8, 7. You know.
I'll start with 10 then.
Okay.
All right, Hedgie, what is your 10th place team?
All right. I'm just tossing up between two teams. I haven't completely finalized this. All right, I'm gonna go.
You gotta do it, man. You're on the hour. This is your 10th place team.
Dignitas have a fantastic roster of individuals. If they decided early in the offseason to pay Huni $2.3 million, about 2 days later they were then saying they were in money problems.
Yeah, go figure.
And that's clearly shown as they pick up a war-stricken Afro Moo. I don't even know who Johnson is. Froggen, he's actually alright. And Grig, I mean, his arm's literally broken. Like he's they're picking up injured players at this point. And that's why they're going to come in at 10th. They've got a pretty awful roster. Their best player is Froggen.
And they have
apparently
Huni.
People still think Hooney's good. Yeah, I don't know why, because he's an awful player. And can only play range top laners. So I'm going to be really interested to see.
Okay, so for the people who have been not watching the off-season, Dignitas' new roster is Huni, Grig. Yes, Grig, the guy who, obviously had a wrist issue last spring. Froggen, Thorin's beloved mid laner. And then you have Johnson from TSM's backup academy team and Afromoo. And Hedgie is putting them at 10th place. Are you serious? You're not trolling, right? You're not trolling, are you? No, he's...
No. They're definitely 10th.
They're 10th place. All right.
They're definitely 10th.
I can't put them as 10th in my own. They're going to be a little bit higher, like around the 7th, 6th range, because I think that Froggen is still really...
drunk?
I don't... Wait, is that a serious question? Is that a rhetorical question? Am I actually drunk? I think that Froggen is a really good player, though. I think that he's had better pieces in this team than he's had in a few, though. But
you're gonna really think I'm trolling then.
All right, Mango, what is your 10th place team?
So my 10th place team is going to be the Golden Guardians.
Hallelujah!
I want to be wrong on this, I really do, but they haven't really, just from looking at their roster, it doesn't really give you any reason in my eyes to put them anywhere else but 10th. Golden Glue, the best that he has looked was whenever he came in as a sub for C9, and he played well, and I really hope he comes in and he plays well. Now, the part that is going to be a huge question mark for me is going to obviously be Closer, the new jungler, and Keith at support. So the mid-jungle duo is, at least, I don't know how the meta is going to shift or anything, but it's very important right now, right? Like, your mid-jungle duo has to be on point. I just don't know how well Golden Glue and Closer are really going to gel. It may take them a little while. Maybe they'll do better in the summer split, but for this spring split, I have them at number 10 for me.
Okay.
Oh,
I give you that one.
10th place, yeah. I already spoiled mine for that a while ago in the Discord. Like 1 and 10, people know what my 1 and 10s are. It's Golden Guardians at 10th. I think that Keith's support just seems like a troll thing. They couldn't get a few players that they wanted to, so they're like, Keith's support is last minute. I mean, you even kind of saw that in their little video that they did. They wanted somebody with hands. Like, what kind of explanation is that? That's like, what the heck is that? That sounded like a dying squirrel.
I don't want people to completely sleep on them, though, because it could work, right? Nobody has actually seen it. So the only people that have really seen them play is going to be the organization. And if, at least from an organization standpoint, if you're there making the calls for the organization, you obviously see something here, right?
Yeah.
Because there's other people that you could go get, even if it's not the people that you wanted to go get.
I just don't see how they beat anyone.
I mean, look, I have them 10th, right? But I'm just saying, I don't want people to think that they're going to be as bad as everybody thinks that they're going to be, because they could come out and have a good showing.
this could happen. Like, let's say they randomly start like 5-1 because they get like slept on. This is a team that could do that, but then when you hit that like halfway point in like the 6th week, everybody kind of figures out how they've been winning, and then that's when the better players with the better teams start kicking in. Because that happens with like FlyQuest consistently. Like they'll do really well when nobody's really that gelled together. Then when the better teams with the better players gel, they just lose because, I mean, at the end of the day, better players do win.
I have a pretty decent amount of faith in Hanser. I think he's better than people give him credit for. I thought he was great. Yeah, I mean, I think he's solid in the top lane. You pretty much know what you're gonna get, and he will still give you some pop-off games. So,
all right,
nothing too bad there. Because people are really just like downplaying Golden Glue, which, I mean, to be fair, they should. He's never really been that good, though. He was only that good because Cloud9 gave him an opportunity, and he capitalized on it now. That's good for him. But I just don't think... I've seen this guy for literal years. I don't think he's that good. And I think that he's going to be a reason why they can't really get that far. No, I'm not saying he's bad or anything. I just think that there were better other individual mid laners, at least native, like DeMonte or Pole Belter, that could have been better in this spot, but they chose to go with Golden Glue.
I'm glad Golden Glue's getting a chance. I have more faith in Golden Glue than I do in Closer. Whenever watching Closer play at the world stage, he did decently, but he didn't.
Who did he play for? I had no idea who Closer is.
He played for the Turkish team. What was
Royal Youth?
Yeah, there we go. Royal Youth.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, I mean, and he didn't. Okay, so whenever I'm looking at it, I'm looking at whenever they play Clutch Gaming, and a jungler like Lyra out jungled Closer like that. I mean, I had to watch. I was a Clutch Gaming fan, right? So I watched Lyra for every split that he was with Clutch Gaming.
Man,
it was hard to watch.
That's like being an abusive relationship. How'd you do it? Man?
Yeah, right. Jeez. Hey, they came out clutch. They went to Worlds. They looked horrible. But,
no pun intended. They came out clutch. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm glad Golden Glue's getting a chance. I think he's actually better than people are going to give him credit for. But I do think it's going to be a little skewed because I don't think Closer is going to be as good as maybe they think.
So that's 10th place. Golden Guardians is for Death Mango. Hedgie has, I swear he's trolling, Dignitas at 10th place. All right. Hedgie, what is your 9th place team?
So 9th place, I've got Cloud9.
All right. Well, this call's over. You can take your Australian ass out of my call.
All right. Now, 9th place, we've got Golden Guardians. So I definitely agree. Like, I think Golden Guardians could finish 10th. I think it's pretty interchangeable between Dignitas and Golden Guardians. I think they're easily the worst two teams by Jesus Christ. It's by a long margin, all right? I think the top 8 teams are all pretty tightly contested and decent. But Golden Guardians, geez, looking at this roster, they've got some decent play. All right, FBI, Golden Glue, Haunter are like mid-tier. But Closer and Keith, I've got big question marks for. And FBI, I'm giving like a bit of credit. Like, he's not that good.
That Australian brother power. That's all.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got decent solo laners for Closer to play around, so that's why I'm giving them a bit of an edge over Dignitas. I guess they've got Froggen, but like, dude, it's fucking Huni, man.
You really dislike Huni.
He just hates Huni. Yeah, he hates everybody. Bad. I swear, he hates everybody. He just doesn't like anybody.
These two teams are horrible. Like,
that's okay.
Really bad. I don't mind FBI. I like Golden Glue, and Haunts is there, but you know it's. They're both pretty bad, and I think they're definitely than 10. But you look at the rosters, right? Look at the other rosters, and you go, who can these two teams beat? Like, who are they going to beat, really, when you come down to it? Who are they going to beat?
FlyQuest is so dog shit every single split anyway. I mean, FlyQuest are literally like free wins sometimes. Hey.
Who are they going to beat? Who are they going to beat? Immortals is the only team I look at like, maybe, because I have Ika, but maybe. Dude. Yeah. Like, oh my god, like, Evil Geniuses, I think, are super overrated as well, but like, I don't know.
Oh, we'll get to them.
That's my 9th place spot. It's just, come on, like, we can't argue about this, right?
One thing that I will chime in for Golden Guardians is that it just goes to show you how much dog shit who he is actually as a support. Because, like,
Yeah.
they were like, hey, who he can be a support. Hey, yeah, fuck you. We're gonna take Keith support instead.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Huhi an ample amount of time though. They gave him his opportunity, and he didn't look great. He didn't look good really at all. So I definitely see why they would move on.
Yeah, alright. Death Mango, what's your 9th place team?
My 9th place team is going to be Immortals.
Ooh.
So I don't, the makeup of this roster, besides really Xmithy, I don't think they're really that great. Xmithy and Hakuo are the two names that I look at that could maybe, with their shot calling and their knowledge of the game, could cover up a lot of weaknesses. Like for Xmithy, go ahead.
Okay. Oltek and Hakuho,
Haka Dirty Ho.
Fucking yeah.
Hakuo.
Okay, Hakuho. Okay, I cannot say his name.
It's okay.
It's okay. You don't have to have an aneurysm on screen.
And then Xmithy, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then Soaz. Surely
Soaz has to prove to me that he's good again. I thought that they were going to do well last year, and he looked awful.
Huni, right?
No. No.
Right,
not even close. I don't even think that's comparable right now. Again, he has to prove it to me. He last year, who had the better year, Soaz or Huni?
Hold on.
I think it's obviously Huni. Huni definitely had the better year last year.
Every Fnatic fan in the world would kill you right now if you said so I was bad.
It's not that he's bad. It's just he didn't have a good year last year, and I don't see him being on this team is going to be any better. Because if you're thinking about it from a different team's standpoint, if you're looking at Immortals and how you're going to beat Immortals, are you really worried about Ica, Altek, and Hakuo carrying the game? Or are you more worried about maybe Xmithy and Soaz carrying the game?
This seems
I'm back. I had to rage off for a sec there.
So if you're another team and you're looking at how are we going to beat this team, take away those two guys and make the other three beat you. And if they beat you that way, more power to them. But don't let that top side, don't let Xmithy Soaz beat you. Basically, that is, and so I don't think they have a lot of different ways to win, other than really that, like Xmithy, maybe Soaz having to carry performance, because I think Xmithy is going to cover up a lot of Ica's issues just because Xmithy is such a good jungler, and that is the only way that this team isn't 9 or 10 for me, is if Xmithy just has a great year, somehow sneaks them into playoffs.
I'll talk about Immortal next because they're my 8th spot, right?
What I'll say about Immortals is I think that most of you guys already touched on what I was gonna say anyways about them. I just think that a lot of people are overrating Soaz because they said it was only Misfits' fault he sucked, and we watched him play and it wasn't really that good anyway. Like he can't really play carry sufficiently, despite saying that he's never really been able to. Given that it's weird. Okay, so he's always said that he's been a dog champ player because that's what the team wanted. But when he got a chance to play carry champions, he's always kind of not really looked that good on them anyway.
Underperformed.
Yeah, like he'll have the one standout game, but I don't really consider that anything impressive. Like freaking garbage Jin Air top laner looked good on some carries, but that mean he world class, not even close. You know what I'm saying? Altek and Haku Dirty Ho. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Hakuo's fine. I haven't seen Altek play since he was on Echo Fox, and he wasn't that good anyway.
I don't have a lot of faith in Altek. I don't know what the big deal with Altek is.
Unlike all the youngins who are gonna watch this part of the podcast, I know who Ica is. I'm not a moron. I watched him. He was on Elements before. He is like, if you would take Hanawa Life's mid laner, what was his name, like Bono or some shit, and then if you combine Kuro, you would get a really bad player. That's what he is,
and that's Ike.
And he's like some Kuro level player. He's not even like he's neither dominating nor underwhelming. He's just there. Like, when are just their mid laners ever won anything? Like, you think of like the worst mid laners ever. They weren't like just there. Like even Pobelter can win LCSs because he's actually pretty decent. Like Ica is like trash. I'm good.
If Ica has a decent split, I think a lot of it's going to come off the back of Xmithy. It's not going to be Ica creating his own advantages. It's going to be Xmithy creating advantages for him.
All right,
at least that's my opinion.
Miru.
Oh, is Miru here?
Miru?
Yeah, what's up?
Miru!
Welcome.
All right, guys, Miru just joined. Okay, Miru, we were going through our power rankings. You know, we were talking about them explicitly. You know, 10 through 1. Who is your so we're on what, number 8 for you guys? So we have to catch them up, right? All right, so Miru, what is your 10th and 9th place teams, and explain why they're 10th and 9th for you?
I mean, there's really no point in explaining why Golden Guardians is number 10, man.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. If you don't want, I mean, we all agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Then I got Immortals at number 9.
That's my boy. That's my black brother.
Yeah. Same here.
Fist bumping from the internet right now.
Have you guys watched that video that they put out today?
Have not, no.
Pretty much regarding why they pick certain people and all that stuff for the positions.
Most PR bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that particularly the thing about Ica, or Ico, whatever you want to call this guy's name, was pretty much like they chose him because he was the first person that responded to their offer.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
He's
like that's literally what
so
the
depressing.
GM
That's like
said. Like he was the first person to respond to them.
Right off the bat, like you fired your GM. Oh my god!
Look, we saw him on the street, and he looked like he really wanted to play.
You know, if you go to a bar and the first chick you see if you go to a bar and the first chick you see is kind of chunky looking and she's the only girl who gives you a number, I mean, I guess it kind of counts, right? Like, what the fuck?
That is a horrible reason. I'm gonna have to go and look at that for myself because that is so hard to believe. I cannot even fathom that.
That's literally the words that came out of his mouth. Like,
oh my god!
They pretty much said they looked at people like Pobelter and like other mid laners or whatnot, and given the offer they had on the table, Ico was the first one to literally call them and say that he accepted that offer.
Well, I bet he was. I mean, if I was Ica, I'd be itching to be in the LCS, right? I mean,
that's literally what I was thinking. Just like he had no other place to go. Like this Immortal shit coming up was probably the best thing that could have fucking happened.
Oh yeah, by far. He probably looked at it and thought it was a prank.
Yeah.
He thought he was getting punked. If you guys don't know what that show is, that was a prank show from back in the day. Oh my good lord, that's just hilarious.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. I'm gonna look forward to watching that video later and laughing about it.
I was hoping no one brought that up because, as you guys know, I watch it all. I just like it's like those TSM videos with parts, you know. Like I can't do it, man. This guy's just PRing me to death.
That's crazy.
So,
Edgy, what is your 8th place team?
Yeah. So, a concept I need to look at when I look at my power rankings, right, is just because a player is on a team that isn't doing well doesn't mean that individual is a bad player. Mira made a great point with Crown. Just because he finished 6th place doesn't mean he's a bad player, right? Same goes just because he came first in the World Championship in 2017 doesn't mean he's a good mid laner.
You're treading on some water here.
Same with Huni. Just because Huni came third with Clutch,
these Australians
doesn't mean he's a good top laner. And I mean, coming third in the NLCS isn't much of a. In 2019, that wasn't a very good achievement considering the competition he had.
Better than 4.
TSM. Jesus Christ. TSM. So that's why Immortals are going to come 8th for me. Because I think they actually have some decent pieces. Smithy's quite a good jungler. I do think he's a bit overrated. Like, I don't think he's an amazing jungler, but I still think he's quite a good, solid jungler. So as not an amazing top laner, but I think he's still pretty good. And I think he'll be a solid piece, particularly in NA. And then Ultek and Hakuho are a really good bot lane. I think they're probably kind of mid tier. I'd say I was just going through the bot lanes before. They're definitely better than Golden Guardians bot lane. They're better than Dignitos's bot lane. let's say they're kind of on the cusp of. You guys are gonna hate me saying this. I think they're almost even with like CLG 100 Thieves, and I think they're better than Evil Geniuses bot lanes.
Wow.
You got any
they're
last
pretty
words?
decent.
Any last words for
And
I
then-
kick you?
and then they don't have a mid laner, but that doesn't matter. So I think they'll come 8th. I definitely think they're better than It's not even a question. They're better than Golden Guardians, but Dignitas, I definitely think they're better than. Stoaz is probably on Hooney's level, kind of around there. Xmithy's definitely better than Grig. Froggen, it's definitely. Do I even have to say that?
No.
Oltec and Hakuho are definitely better than Afuramu and Johnson. So I think they do have a chance to even cuss playoffs. I think they've got the potential to beat teams like Evil Geniuses, potential to beat CLG, and potential to beat. What's the other one I was looking at before? Maybe 100 Thieves. Probably not 100 Thieves. I think they're pretty good, but yeah, I think they'll definitely cusp the playoffs, and maybe finish like 2 or 3 games out in 8th spot.
So you have Dignitas, Golden Guardians, Immortals so far.
Mhm.
Death Mango, what is your 8th place team?
So my 8th place team is going to be FlyQuest.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of faith in the roster, to be honest. So if you're looking at the changes that they made from Pobelter to Power Evil, to me that feels like a side grade. I don't necessarily think that's an upgrade. Viper had a really down year. He didn't really look very good. Santorin doesn't like to gank in the jungle for some reason, which bothers me. And Wild Turtle, and don't get me wrong, I like Wild Turtle. I actually think that's going to be the strong point of their team is going to be Wild Turtle and Ignar. Ignar is by far just a huge upgrade from the supports that they had last year. So if this team is going to go anywhere, I think it's going to be through the bottom lane, through Ignar and Wild Turtle. And we're going to really be able to see how hard can Wild Turtle carry. I think Power Evil, like I said, will kind of be... He'll have his games, he'll have his moments, but there's a reason why CLG got rid of him, right? Like, I'm sorry, not was it CLG? Yeah, it was CLG because he's like EU Pobelter, to be honest. Like that's the way I see him. But Viper, if you take away his Riven, he just looks mediocre.
Miru, what is your 8th place team?
I think along those, I guess 9th, 8th, 7th can be all interchangeable for me. Because, like I said, I had Immortals at 9. I have Dignitas at 8, and FlyQuest was at 7. I actually feel like all that can be interchangeable. Like, no one's really solidified in any position. Like, they're all kind of seem relatively the same. But, like I said, I have Dignitas at number 8 just because I think, like, Froggen can do a lot more with the team versus like Immortals with Soaz and Smithy. I really feel like that's the only bright spot Immortal has going for themselves, where Dig has Froggen. Johnson's actually coming in pretty hyped, and we've seen Afromu come in with rookie AD carries and actually take those guys to the like finals or whatever. Like I feel like that Johnson Afromu duo is actually gonna be pretty good. I think the weakest link that Dignitas has coming in with him is Grig. Like that guy just didn't have like he was serviceable for TSM, but I don't think he was ever going to be like that guy, on TSM. And I feel like, Dignitas picking him up isn't really going to do anything for this guy's career. So it kind of sucks for those guys. And then you always have Hooney, which is a coin flip where, you kind of get this superstar guy or you get this fucking dumpster fire kid.
Yeah.
So then, I have FlyQuest at number 7 with Viper. Ben, I think, who is actually a really good, serviceable top laner where, he's not going to int his ass off, but he's just going to kind of be there, just does his thing. He has a chance to pull out the Riven, style on some kids with that. He doesn't really got to be flashy. He's just up there doing his thing. Like, I think he can actually hold his own against most of the guys in the top lane this season, which... Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my internet literally cut out. I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
They cut you out because you think Crown is bad.
No. I heard FlyQuest 8th, and I was
I got FlyQuest at number 7. I think Santorin has a lot more pieces to work with when he has Power Evil, Wild Sword, and Ignar. Power Evil, actually, I think he is a good mid laner. Like, even though COG got rid of him and got Crown, I still think he's actually a pretty decent guy. He can hold his own against, the Bjergs.
I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't necessarily think he's an upgrade.
No. I don't.
It's hard to say. I think in context of last split, he could be considered an upgrade, but as an overall player, it's just a side grade to me personally.
Wait, who are we talking? Are we talking about PoE?
Yeah,
we're talking about. Well, yeah, I was sorry.
PoE, I think PoE is way better than Pole Belzer.
I think PoE is better than Pole Belzer, but I don't think he's going to be like this star that FlyQuest picked up that's going to like pull them across the finish line and get these guys to third or second place or something like that.
I think Ignar's that player.
Yeah, me too.
I think a lot of people are definitely sleeping on Ignar. Like, that guy is a star. Like, every team that he's gone to, like he just went from playing with who was that Upset Misfits. Over in EU. Like, I don't know, it was Misfits.
No, Schalke.
Oh yeah, he was on Misfits.
He was on Misfits,
and then he
BBQ.
went to Schalke.
Yeah, Misfits, BBQ, and Schalke. Now he's gonna be on Trash Quest.
Yeah, so I actually think that pairing him up with Wild Turtle, someone who is aggressive, pairing with the aggressive support, like they can actually do some damage. Like, I feel like if some wins what's coming out from that team, it definitely is going to be them playing through the bot lane, because I actually do think they can style on a lot of the other bot lanes, and stuff like Cody Stunt or Bang and Zazo or fucking Altek and Hakuo. Like,
100%
I think they can kind of style on those guys and get some W's. So that's why I think they can be 7, but that's a power read.
Mango?
Yes.
Well, you're at 7th, right?
No, I was at 8th because I had FlyQuest at 8th.
Okay. Any more things you want to say on that one?
Just kind of a disclaimer, I guess. Like Miru pointed out, definitely these bottom tier teams they can definitely be interchangeable. It's just kind of how I feel like they're going to end up, but they could end up really anywhere. I just don't necessarily think that these teams are going to make playoffs.
I agree.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just ask one question?
Sure.
To Mango.
Yes.
How are FlyQuest worse than Dignitas?
How are they worse than Dignitas?
Yeah.
I just don't think. So whenever I look at Dignitas, I look at, Hooney's in the top lane, and as much as people like to meme on Hooney, he can definitely carry a team still. He's not bad by any means. Grig is definitely better than Lyra. I think he has a lot of better neutral objective control, which is going to be really big in this meta. Grig is better than Lyra.
Lyra play for FlyQuest.
No, I know, but I'm saying Lyra is an upgrade from the old team.
I'm talking about compared to FlyQuest.
Yeah, I know, and I think Grig is better than Santorin. Like I said about Santorin, he just doesn't gank. He doesn't gank.
I think
he doesn't do anything.
I said this on the last podcast. Santorin's like straight up invisible half the time he plays.
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. I understand. People like literally clamor over that one spring split where he looked really good, and then it's like, what does he do? He doesn't gank any lanes, and all he does is path well properly. I can get you a challenger player that does that and gank. Yeah. So why do I have Santorin then? I think he's just.
I guess that's why Santorin's rank 1 in NA, because he just didn't do anything.
So is Tarzan, but yay, shit happens, right?
I mean, yeah, there you go. But Froggen, I think that I don't think I have to explain that Froggen's better than Power of Evil, right?
Not in.
I disagree. I think PoE.
What?
I'd say PoE is better. Yeah.
All right. That's your last straw, buddy. I'm getting her out of here.
And then the like I had said before, I definitely think FlyQuest, just by looking at it, has the better bot lane. But it's hard to say really anything about Johnson, or yeah, you can say a lot about Afromu, but really Johnson, right? Nobody has seen him play. I haven't seen him play.
He played some academy games, with the was it TSM? I mean, he lost them all. He didn't really even play that
mean he's
good,
good,
but
right?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't mean he's good. Doesn't mean he's bad.
And
I
we've
just
seen
think
Afro when he's terrible.
I think he's a toss-up.
It will.
Honestly,
Well, yeah.
I think he's a toss-up.
By those merits alone, he's just garbage. Actually,
Who?
Johnson. Like he lost literally every single game. By the context of right now, he's considered garbage, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't know how other people might look at him, but for me, I would like to see him actually play a game like in the LCS before I just straight up write him off as trash.
All right.
I think that
Oof.
at least give him an opportunity to play a game. And then Afromu, and here's the other thing about these players.
Okay.
Like in the sense of Froggen, Hooney, Afromu, and Grigg, not so much Johnson because he's a rookie coming in. All these players have a lot to prove. They have either they win or a lot of these players are not going to have jobs. Like that's just how any sport in general works. So either they're going to win or they're not going to be on the roster anymore.
Doesn't that go for any team though?
Sure,
I mean,
I'm saying,
but not always though, right?
Yeah, I mean, Sneaky had a team for 7 years. I mean, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they always won. See,
they
always stayed at the top.
Yeah.
So okay. So
I don't know. That's a weird. I get what you're saying, but every team wants to win, right?
No, I was gonna say
every team wants to win, but certain players. Okay, look at Afromu. He almost didn't have a job at all. Same thing with Grigg. Almost didn't have a job at all.
Well,
they basically put this roster together because they paid Hooney so much money, and they had to figure out who else can we get.
See, the Grigg point is weird because remember he was supposed to start for TSM this year, but the wrist injury did it for him, and then he got thrown into a shitty situation too. The Afro point, I think
Grigg is good.
Yeah, I think the Afromu point is agreeable because, like, you know, he just looked so bad. Like he just looked bad, and you got to factor in people who keep like recycled, washed up players, like Apollo. Apollo's been a recycled, washed up player for literal splits for now, and I mean he still found a job, but at one point this split he doesn't have a job anymore because, well, at one point it does kind of catch up to you.
Yeah, of course.
But
so that's kind of the whole point, though. I feel like a lot of the players on the Dignitas roster are kind of at that point. It's either you win or we're gonna bring in new blood.
Hedgie, what is your 7th place team?
So I'm gonna go with Evil Geniuses. I think they have a decent roster. Like it's not too bad. And again, like I think this split's actually probably the most tightly contested it's been in a while. I know we have like a lot of tiebreakers in the last few years, but looking at like essentially second place to like 8th place, I think is quite tightly contested. I think there's a lot of really, really good team.
Wait. From what position to what position?
Okay. Okay. 2nd position to 7th position. No.
So you just think from second place, so over half the league is just
just a toss-up.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think 2nd to 7th could go like to anyone, really. Yeah. I don't think there's a breakout second. There's an absolute locked-in second place team.
Well, goddamn, Hedgie, you're not saying much, brother.
I think TL will come first, they'll win, and then everyone else is like...
Some days I wonder why I've never watched Kangaroo Jack, and it's because of you.
So 7th is going to be Evil Geniuses, because they have a bit of a yikes roster. Bang and Zazel, that's a really weird bot lane. I don't think that's going to really work. I just don't like it. I don't think Zazel's a great support, and I don't think Bang's an amazing ADC, so I don't think it's going to work too well.
You don't think Bang's good?
No.
Wow.
Kumo is good. I think Kumo's quite good, but I don't think he'll go against most of the top laners that will make the playoffs. We actually have some really good top laners in NA. There's about 5 or 6 top laners that are really good that I think will be able to beat him. Svenskeren is still the second best jungler in NA with the induction of Broxah, and I think he'll perform. And I think Jizuke is quite good, so they'll have that. So they'll be a decent roster, and I think they definitely have a good chance to make the playoffs. I just think there's other teams that are a bit better.
But for you, for now, you have them outside of the playoffs.
For 7th.
Yes.
Death Mango. what is your 7th place team?
So 7 and 6 was a big toss up for me, but at 7 I have Dignitas.
Ooh, they're your dark horse team.
Yeah, so I honestly at first I had Dignitas at 6, but after looking over it some more and whatnot and putting my brain to it, I have them at 7. But it could really be interchangeable, my 6 and 7 team. But so again, I've already touched plenty on Dignitas, but I feel like this team, like just the roster in general, like I said, besides maybe Johnson, has a lot to prove, and they're gonna have to come out and perform and win. And I know that you can say that about any team, but let's look at. So if we're gonna go back and look at Immortals, that team necessarily isn't looked at to, hey, you guys got to go out and win this split. I feel like Dignitas, they kind of feel that way. Like, okay, hey guys, we went to Worlds last year. We have a lot of talent on the team. We only have one rookie. They have a lot of old talent, like Huni, Froggen, Aframu have all been around the league for a while. Grig, whenever he did play for TSM, he did look pretty good. So my biggest thing with Grig that I remember is his smites were always on point. So I feel like it's going to be a huge upgrade from Lyra.
Oh, 100%.
Miru, what is your 7th place team?
I already said it was the FlyQuest.
Oh yeah, you're right, FlyQuest. Holy crap! So we got our 7th place teams. All right, so now we're into playoffs. Holy crap! All right, so Hedgie, what is your first team or technically last team into playoffs?
So I've got Counterlogic Gaming or CLG. So they've got a quite solid roster, and that's why they're in the playoffs. Crown, quite a good mid laner. Wiggly, up and coming jungler. I don't think he's too good, but he's still there. He's still a decent jungler in NA. Ruin, bit of a yikes looking at using an import slot on Ruin. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
He's not the best player. And then their bot lane I don't think is very good either. It's Stixade and Smoothie. Smoothie's quite a good player, but I think Stixade's a bit overrated. Like he played his best League of Legends about 3 or 4 years ago, and he hasn't been very, very, very mediocre since then. And even missing the playoffs 3 out of the last 4 splits, just been kind of a yikes for this team. And I think they've definitely got an upgrade at I'd say Crown's around as good as PoE. Like probably a bit better. Yeah, probably a bit better in my opinion. But then Smoothie, obviously a very good player. So I think they're quite a good team, but I think they'll finish 6th with their current roster.
I love crack. I wish I was smoking the same crack you were. But Death Mango, what is your 6th place team?
I actually, surprisingly enough, agree with him. I have CLG at 6th as well.
All right, well, you guys need to share this crack with me. I swear.
So look at it. So look at it, but look at it from this standpoint, right? So you keep your top laner. I don't think Ruin's very good. You keep Wiggly. I really don't think Wiggly's all that. You bring in Crown, which I do think is better than Power of Evil. You keep Stixay. We all know what Stixay is. And then you bring in Smoothie, get rid of Biofrost, and I actually think that's a bit of a downgrade. I think Biofrost is better than Smoothie.
Yes.
And I think that's going to not necessarily... I just think your bot lane is almost just going to stay the same, if not get maybe a little worse. So if you're looking at Crown and Wiggly to kind of carry you, or even Ruin, throw Ruin in there because you're talking about the top side. If you're looking to win through the top side, I don't think you're gonna do that well. You'll make playoffs, sure, because I think Crown is better than Power of Evil, but I don't think you've made enough moves or you've done enough to upgrade your roster to make me think that you're gonna do any better than 6.
I want to add to what Mango said here. I think it's actually a really good point. Who actually carries this roster? Like Crown as a player, right? And even when he was on Samsung, maybe he was a really good mid laner, right? But he didn't carry that roster, right? Like you didn't go like, oh, Crown is just backpacking this team. Like he is really throwing carry performances. So when Ruin has a bad game top lane, or when 6A and Smoothie don't have a good game, is Crown really going to be that person who you look to bring up this team? Like Wiggly also, he isn't this god in the jungle. Like, yeah, he's probably like 4th to 5th kind of best jungler in NA, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, like that's a big maybe. Because there's games that he just
and then
doesn't even show up. It seems like
Crown's probably top 3, top 4 mid, and then Ruin, yikes, and then 6A and Smoothie are like probably your 4th or 5th best bot lane. Like you're not looking like this is just amazing roster. Like they're solid. I think they'll work well together, but I don't think they'll.
I think they'll make playoffs.
But I think it'll be the brink of it, and I think they even have a chance of not making playoffs.
Yes, 100% agree. That's why I have them kind of mixed. I think if there's going to be a team that can maybe knock them out, is going to be Dignitas.
We're gonna go over to Miro because I think he's had a heart attack.
Yeah, Miro, are you? Miro, speak to us.
Man, y'all is shooting up heroin and all that shit, man. I don't even know what to say.
All right, Miro, what is your 6th place team?
I have EG as my 6th place team.
Oh man! All right, why are they 6th place?
I mean, I think they're better than everyone else I had as far as FlyQuest, Dig, Immortals, Gold, and Guardians. I think Kumo is, as much as I love that we have an NA talent coming in, I don't think he's at that point yet where we can kind of put any stock in him, and kind of hype him up or anything. Like I think he's going to have some growing pains within his first split, considering that he's going against people like Licorice, Broken Blade, Impact, Hooney, Soaz. Like, there's a lot of, stacked as top laners out there. So I think the guy's just going to really struggle and whatnot. But I mean, he also has Spence Garen on this team who, like you said, he's the MVP of last split. I still think he is probably the second best, now that Brox is coming through. We have Jizuki in the mid lane. I think the guy's a hit or miss. Like, I hope that he can get back to his glory, like how he was kind of back in 2018 Worlds. I'm hoping that he can get back to that kind of. But I don't think that Jizuki really stands up to any of the other mid laners, in my opinion. Besides, like someone like Ica, Ryoma, like he can beat Golden Glue out, but I don't think he's any better than say someone like Froggen or Power Eve or Crown or Beerus and Jensen. Like mid lane is still also pretty stacked, and if he kind of comes in with how he was playing last split in the LEC, like I don't see him doing anything. And then I look at the bot lane as far as Bang and Zazo. I think that's a really weird. That's a really weird bot lane. Like I don't see Zazo meshing well with Bang. Like Bang. Like I already don't think Bang is good. I don't. He's mid tier. Like I think his best days are past him. Like I'm 100% sure he came over here for a paycheck. Like, there's no other way around it. Like,
those names, this roster just looks so weird looking at it. You know what I mean? Like, just looking at these names, you're like, what have they done? Like, it's just...
I like how they fucking came into LCS and that black chick was like, hey, we're gonna live evil. Hey, you know how we're gonna reap we're gonna destroy the NALCS with Jizuke and Svenskeren and Kumo and Zazel. Oh yeah, you know that 80 carry that 100 Thieves ruined? Yeah, that guy too. This chick is high as hell. What the hell? This chick straight up looked at Jizuke and thought he was actually better than Polbelter and DeMonte from last split. What kind of what great people we have running these organizations. What the hell?
Yeah, that team is kind of sketch, man. Like, I feel like if you're going to play with Bang, like I would have much rather them gotten like some other Korean support to go along with them just so that they can sit in the bottom lane, just kind of do their own
like Tucson
thing. Like, if they would have got like Bang and Tucson or Bang and Ignite, like I think that would have been a solid bot lane to just kind of be down there to do their own thing. They could have got someone like Poe Belcher in the mid lane, and then I actually would have loved if they would have picked up Solo over Kumo. Like Solo actually can hold his own against some of these top laners. Like he's not someone who's just going to outright lose the game with you, but he's going, be that rock up there, kind of like he's like a impact light to me. Like that's what I look at.
I'm really surprised that Solo isn't on a team.
Yeah,
I feel like a big and this is just me speculating. I don't know anything, but I feel like it might be an attitude issue.
I mean, I've heard
that would be the only thing that makes sense to me because I've thought Solo was a pretty decent top laner for while he was in the LCS.
I think he's better than. I don't think he's better than any top laner out of any of these.
Well, so I don't think he's better. Well, I think he's better than Ruin. I think he's better than Viper. Like, I think he's better than those lower tier ones. But as far as like everyone else, like, I don't think he's someone who's going to go in and like smash someday or smash Impact or someone like that. I think he's just going to hold it.
Up-and-comer, isn't he? Kumo? Like he's a young up-and-comer. Like I think you take Kumo. Like actually.
No, yeah. For the Evil Genius roster, 100%. I'm just saying I'm surprised that Solo doesn't. He's not even on an Academy roster.
Imagine Immortals with Demonte or Pobelter, dude. That'd be actually a really good roster. They'd come top 4.
Yeah, plus Pobelter.
Yeah, I think I would. Synergy. If you take out Ica and you put Pobelter or Demonte in there, I think you got a pretty solid ass team.
The one thing about CLG is that it's the same thing Medio said when he was playing with Crown, is that how do you play effectively with somebody if you can't talk to them? Like, how is Wiggly going to effectively communicate with Crown? And I know somebody told me in my comment section that Crown has been improving on his English, but that still is like, on-the-fly decision-making. How was he going to effectively communicate with this guy to do something? Wiggly and Ruin didn't have good synergy anyways last split.
Not at all.
Not even close. And Evil Geniuses... Wait, hold on. Just a question to all of you. Is Evil Geniuses the most overrated roster coming into the split?
No, I don't think so.
No? That's every single group has a different opinion on them. One group says they're super overrated, some groups say they're not.
I'll be right back. Right back.
It's like
I think they're second most overrated.
It's really hard to say because CLG's problem indirectly comes from their bot lane. Like, what Stixay do we see? Do we see a Stixay where he wants to play League, or do we see a Stixay where he's just garbage? It's never the same.
I have CLG at number 4. Like, I think that roster is actually pretty solid, but Ruin is just like a big ass. Yeah, I think the highest they're going to come is probably like 3rd or 4th. I don't think there'll be any further than that. Yeah. But I mean, they could be even lower than 4th. Like, I could see them being at 7th.
Would you agree with this, right? CLG has like less of a ceiling than Evil Geniuses. So I think Evil Geniuses would come second.
I think CLG would have that higher based off of like already known players.
I think Evil Geniuses
for EG to come second, man. A lot of stars got to line.
Cloud9 would have to shit the bed. Like TSM would have to be like, "Fuck this split. Hey, it doesn't matter to me." T Liquid's like, "Whatever. Fuck this split too." Like Evil Genius getting second means like half the league must suck for a team that just got built like literally in the off season for the win. I mean, it's not improbable. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, man.
I think Cloud9's comparable to 100 Thieves, like, in terms of question marks.
Whoa. You're going a little too far there, buddy.
Blabber's super question marky. And I think the bot lane's kind of question marky. Like, I think Sven and Vulcan are good, but I don't know. They have to show up. Like, they have to really perform. Because Niski's not like this elite mid laner either. Like, I think he's good, but I don't think he's like... He looked good because he had the best jungler in the league, the best top player in the league.
That's what I think. Like, I mean, granted, we'll get to C9 and whatnot, but I do think that Sven and Niski, Sven made Niski look good.
Dude, I swear to, man, I wish we had like
Evil Geniuses can come second. I think they can.
What is the... Muriel, you killed us, man. Please.
I've got them at 7th, but they could come second. That's what I said. 2 to 7.
If TL just dropped out of the league for a split, hey, anything's possible at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Hedgie. What is your 5th place team?
5th place. I'm tossing up between 2 rosters right now, and I'm just having a look. Player to player.
All right, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Good.
So what have I missed?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with
nothing at all. We're on the 5th place team. Hedgie said 100 Thieves is his 5th place team. I agree. Yeah, that's where I have them. Yeah.
I think 100 Thieves is a has a really super good roster, and again, I actually think they can come second. With their roster potentially, I think they've got a really high ceiling. Cody Sun's a fantastic ADC. Think he'll make Stunt a really good support. Meteos is one of the best junglers in the league, and if the big question mark for me is if Someday comes back in his form that he used to have.
I mean, he never fell off. Like in my opinion, like the guy.
Yeah, I think one of the big reasons that he didn't get along with or didn't even really want to, not that he didn't want to be on the team, right? But I just think maybe him and Prawley, the head coach, I think they maybe had different views on how the game should be played, or maybe it was a him or Bang kind of scenario.
I don't think there was any issue. Like it just like what they wanted to do, they just couldn't fit Someday and Bang and everyone into the roster. Like someone had to take an L, and Someday just took that L, and he just.
Well, I know that was. I don't know, because that was one of the reasons why Meteos and Cody Sun had left originally, was because they didn't necessarily agree with Prawley on how to play the game.
I mean,
So I think with Someday, it could be something like that as well. I just find it really hard to believe that you sit or put Someday in the academy for Fake God, no matter what your issues are. Someday is definitely better than Fake God. I don't even think that's close.
I think this pretty much, that whole situation shows that in the LCS you can't go budget mid. Like I'm looking at people like Ryoma, Ika, like those are budget mid. Like you can't do that because like everything plays around mid lane. Your jungler, like it has too important of a role. Like you want to go budget somewhere, you got to do it on top lane or support or something like that. But you can't do it in the mid lane, which is why I feel like they had to take that L. They had to bench Someday onto the academy team to bring in Ryu or whoever the fuck they wanted, just to try to make something happen, because he was not cutting it. Like they were disaster. It was disaster. Like they had to take an L somewhere, and I feel like that's what Someday had to be. Like there was no animosity or anything.
But you're still paying him though, just because he's on your academy roster. You're paying him the same exact salary. So what kind of L are you taking?
Well, I think it's weird to look at it this way. Like I remember. Because I forgot that person we didn't bring up yet, Onda. So if you guys watch LCK, if anyone's watched LCK, remember when Blank would basically do like 533 damage on a Trinity Force Jax jungle? Basically, how can a top laner play when his jungler is playing like a dude with no hands? How are you going to synergize with that? Onda was so...
Well, last year they had amazing.
Last
split.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Last split, it was amazing, but the first split it was with Onda, and then had amazing. And I think like they didn't really understand how to play around Someday. Someday is like a version of the Shy, where you don't really have to do anything for him. Like you really don't, honestly. He could either win on his own or be fine playing going even. What's that thing that top laners? What's that saying for top laners? You lose gracefully, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someday can lose gracefully and not even lose the game. Like I don't think that they actually understand how to play around him effectively enough to really win with him.
I don't even think he was losing gracefully. Like the guy was still beating everyone besides like Licorice and Impact. Like
yeah,
one else like I don't.
I think
Someday is a great top laner.
Man, it's weird how people say he was like overrated because he had that one good split. Like, no,
I never thought he was overrated.
He's not even close to overrated, because people say everybody's overrated if they have like one bad split. So apparently Faker has to be overrated because he didn't look that good in 2018. Right. Like people are nuts. All right, so you guys, Miru had So we're on 5th place, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I just want to kind of explain why I've got them.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think they're really good, and I know you guys like probably think it's stupid, but I think they could potentially finish top 2 at like best, because I think Someday's second best top laner in the league at his best. Meteos is top 3 junglers at his best. Ryoma's a big question mark for me, because like I've watched a lot of him in OCE, and he's good, but I don't know how that's going to to NA. Yikes, but Cody's...
You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
You got the Mr. Krabs mic over there, dude. You got the McDonald's Wi-Fi going on over there.
Sounds really good ADC, so a lot better. Third, fourth, but
than
100 Thieves.
I 100% agree. Oh man,
I hate you.
if I was in Australia right now, I'd give you a giant hug.
Yeah, no, I'd kill you.
What the fuck? Holy
Holy
crap!
mackerel.
What did I do to you? It's just because I'm black? Oh my god!
No, you said a pun.
No, I didn't. I like Kangaroo Jack, dude. I like Australia. Oh my god, man. Death Mango, what is your fifth?
Let's move. Yeah, let's move.
Well, I hate you.
I have 100 Thieves at 5th as well, and I don't think I don't think it's super crazy to think that they could finish top 2. I mean, I don't think that's crazy at all. The only question mark, kind of like he was talking about, would be Ryoma.
Yeah.
I think if Ryoma comes in and just looks all world and they gel and they look really well or look really good, I think this could very potentially be a top 3 team.
Yeah, like Ryoma has to, like, yeah, you can say if they're going to go for like second, third place, like
Right, Ryoma has
he
to
has to have
have
pop
like
off
the split
something,
of his
man.
life. Yeah.
Like, I don't think it'd happen any other way. It has to be.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they 100%. He has to have really good split, not even good split, really good year. Both splits.
Yeah.
You just have to have a really good year because I think Cody Sun is really good. Someday we already have said is really good. Meteos upgrade over amazing. If you look at the roster, I think they've upgraded probably everywhere. Even I would even call Ryoma an upgrade over Ryu.
I would actually too. Ryu's been playing. I mean, he's not bad anymore, but you know.
No, he's not bad. I just don't.
No, he is.
think he's. I just don't think he's necessarily as good as you know the younger Ryoma.
This is my only hot take, but I think Cody Sun is an upgrade over Bang. But,
Yeah, I would agree.
That's not a hot take.
that's the truth.
It's common information.
I think one of the big reasons why Cody Sun is an upgrade is because him and Stunt will actually be able to communicate.
There's an Ezreal on top of 5 people.
Well,
Miro,
Good point.
Miro, who was your 5th place team? It was
it was 100 Thieves also, man.
Okay.
Like,
all tied to 100 Thieves. All right. I think I know your guys' 4th pick. You guys better be very
We agree
nice.
on something, yeah.
You guys better be nice to this 4th place pick here, because if you guys put my boys at 4th, I'm gonna kick y'all out of this call. Hedgie, who's your 4th place team?
Hold on, before we move on to that.
Okay.
Before we move on to that 100, that I don't want to say about the 100 Thieves roster, man. Like, I feel like I agree with you guys saying that, you know, they have a top out of like 2nd, 3rd place. Just because I feel like, you know, by them bringing back Someday, Meteos, and Cody, who were pretty integral parts of them actually, like success. Like, they were the reason why these guys were even going to the Worlds. Like, you bring those 3 really solid players back. Like, I think that's fucking amazing that he was able to get those kids back on the team. But like you say, you know, just Ryoma, Stunt. Like, Stunt's had a time in LCS. I mean, he wasn't great. He wasn't crazy or anything, but, you know, him and Cody they're friends in real life, whatnot. They're like besties or some shit like that. So, I mean, maybe that synergy will play out for him and, you know, they actually start popping off, whatnot.
Stunt looked pretty good, too, in the academy.
I mean, he played in the, what was it?
He played on P1.
Which Rivals?
He played on, yeah, you're right. He played on Twitch Rivals.
Like, he was looking good there. But once again, I mean, that's not a real crazy skill matchup.
No.
So, I mean, but he still showed decent work, whatnot. Like, something that I personally would have loved to have seen if 100 Thieves could have gotten someone like Crown and Smoothie for like Ryoma and Stunt. Like, I feel like if you could have been something like someday Meteos, Crown, Cody, Smoothie, like, I feel like that would be a 2nd, 3rd place team right there, like off the rip. Like, it wouldn't even be a question as the, they got to overperform or something like that. But I just would have loved to have seen like Crown in that middle spot. Like, it would have been fucking great. Like, just considering that Meteos and Crown have already played on Optic and they were fucking just hard carrying that team, across the finish line to try to, get somewhat of relevancy. I think that would have been a really solid pickup for him, but they couldn't do it.
I'm okay with Stunt, but actually, I would have liked to see 100 Thieves pick up DeMonte in the mid lane.
I thought that'd be perfect.
Oh, that would have been. Oh my god,
that would have.
I think that would have been really, really good.
After that, bro, they should get like. Who else should they get from EU? Oh, because we got to steal our mid laner.
But then you have an import slot for your support, and you pick up
Bring over
Gorilla.
Tucson.
Actually, stunt is NA. Stunt is
Stunt is North America.
So
then
the only import slot that you would be using would be Someday. Or is he considered?
So then you go,
Now, what if 100 Thieves got Bjergsen?
Oh God.
Well, that's off the table. So.
Yeah, because apparently now
That's
TSM
never
own him.
happened.
Apparently now TSM own him. In somewhat cases. It's weird because 100 Thieves has this weird way where, like, for the past, I think, 4 splits, if I've seen them, they play the exact same way. No matter what the roster is, they're going to play the exact same way no matter what. Scaling. I have not seen an early game in this team's body no matter what the iteration of the roster is. Like, just at all. I've not ever seen them play I've not seen them play a quick game since they've started the actual league together. So Yeah, like, I don't understand how they really... See, this is a fast-paced meta, and I think that the faster-paced teams are going to beat them if they don't somehow conform to the meta, because they don't exactly have the... No, see, this is weird, though. It's the top side of the map is what makes or breaks them. If they can actually play the faster pace playstyle, then it really goes to show you if they can really do it. But plus, they have Zix. Like, Zix is... himself some days, but... Alright, Hedgie, what is your 4th place team?
okay, so this is where I have a bit of a disagreement with Mira.
You've had a disagreement with everything.
Okay,
It's all your
good point,
rankings.
good point. We've actually like agreed on the last 2 spots, like relatively. So I've got FlyQuest in 4th. I think they're a really good roster.
Flips chair! Flips chair over. Throws chair outside.
So I think they have the least question marks out of most of these teams. So I think, there's question marks with 100 Thieves, there's question marks with CLG, plus they don't have a ceiling. There's question marks with EG, but I don't think there's too many question marks with FlyQuest. I think you know what you're going to get from PoE. He's a really solid mid laner. He's one of the best in the NLCS.
You love PoE, man.
you really do. You like PoE a lot.
I like him too.
Not just PoE. I adore Ignat. I think he's an amazing... Fuck you. I adore Ignat. I think he's an absolute monster, and I think he's going to help Wild Turtle become a good ADC.
I don't think there's... you know what happens, dude? God doesn't have magical powers. You need to... I hope you're saying the right stuff here.
I think they're the 3rd best bot lane in the league, if Ignat really performs the way I think he will. And then you got Viper, who I don't think he's an amazing top laner or anything. He's not that good, but I think he's going to be able to compete. I think he's had decent last 2 splits. I think he was pretty solid. And Santorin's a fantastic jungler, so I think they've got a really elite team. And you want to focus your own bot lane in this meta.
Okay,
so
my question.
4th place is going to be.
My question
where
to
they end
you
up.
is, what makes Santorin a fantastic jungler to you? What does he do that's fantastic?
Drops mic.
like besides farm the jungle, what else does he do?
I'm sorry,
farming
guys.
Farming the jungler can be as important as getting kills.
Not anymore. They've nerfed the jungle camps.
You can't do that anymore and win.
You can't.
But they're taking away catch-up XP.
Dude, I'll give you an example. If you didn't watch what's that thing for Chinese players? The Demacia Cup. Karsa did the exact same thing Santorin did, and then they lost.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they went out in the quarters.
Yeah, like his little playstyle where he doesn't do shit.
How doesn't he gank? But he's number 1 in NA on Challenger. Solo queue is all about.
But that's completely different than. You can't compare solo queue NA to LCS.
Sure.
I think that he's always been the exact same player, except
I'm talking about playstyle in the type of player he is.
I mean, but his playstyle from solo queue is going to be completely different than how he plays around his actual team. Like,
I just remember a lot of last year. It was a whole lot of, no matter what team they were playing, the other jungler ganking, and him never there for a counter gank or gank at all. Like it would go like 15 minutes into the game, and he literally would be on like an Elise and not do anything besides farm.
I mean, it bothers me. Defend that point. So you think that solo queue shows, like, solo queue and LCS, like they overlap a lot.
Playstyle, yeah, as an individual's playstyle.
I mean, but many pros have already come out saying that, like, or even just analysts have just said,
I'm not saying
like that's not
saying but they're gonna play similar in some aspects. They're not gonna play the exact same, but they're gonna play similar. You're not gonna completely change your playstyle over to like scrims and pro play.
I mean, but, like, these guys, junglers in particular, are known to be a lot more aggressive in solo queue because it is solo queue. Just players in general are how they do in scrims. Like they say, people play a lot more aggressive, and that's what gets you the W's. They play a lot more aggressive in solo queue, a lot more aggressive in scrims because they are those.
Just because you're aggressive doesn't mean you should win.
No, but I'm saying though, but like this is like when you say like, okay, Santorin is ranked number 1, it's because though he is making these aggressive plays, like because he is playing solo queue, he's in scrims. But when you're actually on the LCS stage, things are a lot different because things are a lot more serious and more on the line. His play style doesn't necessarily can transition over to that though, where he becomes a little bit more passive.
Playing more passive is better in pro play than playing aggressive.
I disagree with that.
This is the thing, is that last split he did that. He did that last split. And where was FlyQuest at?
Yes, because he doesn't know how to play slow. Because he's in an A.
No, but I'm saying like
just because someone's aggressive and they just throw them, but the other team doesn't know what to do in response because they don't know what to do on their champions and they don't know how the game works and they don't know how you draft to stop early aggressive teams doesn't mean he's a bad player. Like there's a reason they've finished 4th both of last splits because they're a good team and Santorin's a good jungler and he's been a big part of that and he's been a good jungler for 3-4 years. Like there's you can't just say like oh well he never ganked and then not show examples of that.
Just go back last split and go look at any Elise game that he played the first 20 minutes and tell me how many times he ganked. That's
once in one game.
That's it.
This is what
you'll
he
deny
does.
this, but you've probably seen it in one game and him not gank heaps in one game,
bro.
It's TL and
trust me, it's more than one game.
Sure, all right.
I think here's my thing with him. He does the exact same things all the time, but sometimes he'll show. It's like that one girl who's like, "Yeah, I want to be with you."
Oh my god! Stop doing this.
I'm gonna get you with this one because it's like that one girl who wants to be with you, right? But there's something really about her different from somebody else that has the better qualities. But at one point, she'll show you something drastically different to make you think she's better. That's what Santorin is. He'll do a few things at some points to make people think that he's a different player, but he's really not. Like I've seen this guy for so long, man, and he does the exact same thing. He doesn't really do anything. That's his thing.
And he always makes playoffs.
I don't.
Not last year.
I mean, I'm with Edgy. Like, I do think Santorin is good. Like, I think of all the players on that team last split, he probably was the best one. But I don't think whatever was going on in the background, like he just couldn't work with whatever the fuck was going on the map. So, like, I don't think that because like last split, like, oh man, they underperformed or whatnot. Like, I still think Santorin is good. I think FlyQuest is still going to be good. I just don't have. I fucking hate.
Yeah,
power.
sure. Finish 7th. I could finish 6th. I could finish 5th.
You know we love you, right?
They have an amazing bot lane and they're good jungler. I'm not saying he's an elite jungler, but he's a really good. All right, and then Viper. Yeah, he's not the best top laner, but I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he loses you the game. As well, I think he's going to be solid. He's going to stick there, and he's going to do well. And I think 100 Thieves could come. I think they just have more question marks than FlyQuest. Like you look at FlyQuest roster, right, and you don't go like, "Oh, this player, I don't know if he's going to perform, right? I don't know if he's going to play well." Yeah, kind of. You go Viper, yeah, maybe you've got a bit of that. Wild Toad, you've got a bit of that. But then Ryoma, you're really question marking Ryoma. You're really question marking Stun. CLG, you're really question marking Stixay if he's going to, perform with this team, and you really question mark because he hasn't really had a good split. Like,
I mean, you can question mark Ryoma and Stun, but you have known quantities in Sunday, Meteos, and Cody. Like those are three solid ass players. So it's like even with those other two question marks, like that's
Wild Turtle, Ignar, and Santorin.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they are pretty known too. Yeah.
But
I
then,
mean,
you,
but
but
what
then you
was
look
that?
at, but then you compare those 3 players to the 3 players on FlyQuest. Like someday Meteos and Cody Stone. Then you look at Santorin, Power of Evil, and Wild Turtle.
Ignar's better than any of those 3 players, though.
Death Mango, who is your 4th place team?
Ignar's better than this.
I hate you.
So I actually have. Sorry, I was looking stuff up. I have EG as my 4th place team.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh, that's the highest they've been for you guys had them lower, didn't you?
Fuck yeah, it did.
No,
Yeah.
I give him that. I think they could.
I don't. I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, yeah. I guess there's question marks on the team, but I don't get why people are sleeping on them that hard. So
I mean,
we were
how do
talking.
they win?
Well, I'll explain. So we were talking about Cuomo or just top lane in general. What are you trying to do most of the time? You're trying to at least go even, lose gracefully, stay in the game, right? I think Cuomo can do that. I don't think he's going to sit there and smash lanes in the top lane, but I think that he can be relevant in the game. Sven Skaren won MVP last year for a reason. It's not like it was just on accident. Jizuke had a down split last year, or his second split was a down split, but before that, they were talking about him being all world and everything like that. And I think him and Sven Skaren are going to be very aggressive in their mid jungle duo, and I think that they're going. I think their play styles actually align pretty well. I think Jizuke is better than people are giving him credit for, and I hope that he proves that this year because he has a lot to prove here. Bang and Zazel is one of my biggest question marks. Mainly because I don't know how they're going to interact in a lane together if they can't talk to each other. But I don't by any means think Zazel's bad, or I don't think Bang is even bad. I don't know where even that is coming from. I can almost agree with Bang being bad in people's eyes more than I can with Zazel. I don't see what the big issue is with Zazel. All he did with Cloud9, they win. But they win. Like they would just.
Yeah, but does that mean he's good?
I mean, he's got to be doing something right.
I think
Lyra was on clutch and they finished 3rd. Lyra was on clutch and they finished 3rd. Is he good?
But was Lyra the reason that they were winning the game?
I mean, to be
no,
fair,
Hooney and DeMonte were 2 of the biggest reasons, and Zazel, yes, his shot calling was a big reason why they were winning games right whenever he came in
playmaking supports.
Okay, yeah. In 2018, you're talking about? Is that what you're talking
about? I'm talking about his career in general.
Even recently.
If we're talking about, like, again, I don't know if like everybody just gets very close-minded and just looks at, oh, what did he do last? Like that. I'm looking at what he has done in a career as a whole. Just because he had a down split doesn't mean he's a bad player.
I think that
it's even more close.
Because it's weird with Zazel because he's actually
his team's good. He's good.
Right? You know, I mean, like when he had the playmaking supports, he was actually pretty good. I think his thing is flexibility. I don't think he's really that flexible. When it comes to flexibility, I just think that there's nothing really for him to actually really. He's a player that excels at one thing, and he doesn't excel at the other thing. And I think that if you want to win with Zazel, you're gonna have to give him the one thing that makes it work: playmaking supports. Like, cause we saw this guy play Lux and those other ones, and I was looking kind of shit. Maybe that was because Sneaky's just not good in lane. Maybe, I don't know. But you must count in that the players around him are going to be a little bit more uncoordinated. Remember, this is a newly put together roster that does have some pieces from Cloud9, right?
I think Irene is also going to help Bang, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The head coach.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about him. It's just that
I think they can finish 2nd at best, but I just don't think they're going to... Everything has to click for this team, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't think they're going to click.
I mean, you could say that about every team. It has to click. I mean, yeah.
But I think you know what to expect more from other teams. Like this team, it's just kind of, I don't know, like
Yeah.
Shizuke
No, well, I mean, yeah, that's
Bang
kind of the
as well?
whole. That's
Every
yeah,
player
that
except
kind of
Spencer
comes with preseason power rankings, though. Nobody really knows what's
Yeah.
going to happen until they get on the
Sure.
Rift and actually play.
Yeah.
Oh, I know everything.
No.
I'm the mind reader. I can read it all.
Yeah.
The only thing that's guaranteed is TR wins.
Yeah.
Cloud9 wins the split. Hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. What are you saying is blasphemy, TL? Ew, gross.
I feel on the note about Kumo, like, I don't think he's someone who can lose gracefully. Like, just looking at the games that he actually did play in the LCS, he had a lot of attention thrown his way just because they knew draft and everything was going to get kind of directed at him from the opposing team. Most of the games that he played Jace. Svenskeren had to pretty much camp that guy's lane to try to get him a lead in kills, which he got. You know, everyone remembers him solo killing Impact and whatnot. But even in that matchup, the guy was down in CS. So for you to go even in lane, you have to be camped when you have players like Jizuki and Bang on your team that need attention also. Like, I don't think there's any top laner in the league that Kumo can actually go toe-to-toe with and still, you know, I think he loses against everyone. Like, besides maybe like Ruin Viper, maybe, but I think everyone else just hard stomps that guy. Like, you can't expect in the meta where dragons are so important that Svenskeren is just going to be able to sit around the top lane and help that guy out.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think he can. Like, I think he's going to get smashed. Like, I wholeheartedly think he's going to get smashed.
Only one way to find out.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
You're right. And then just like
Going
on
to the future.
and then just on the Zazel note, like, I think his 2018 when he jumped in after Smoothie, it was great. The guy was on point. He was coming in on his Alistar. He was making moves for this team. He was one of the main reasons why they got to Worlds. Like, he
was a big voice. That was one of the big things. He was a big voice for the team as well.
Yes, I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, he was good for that 2018. So I don't want to make it seem like this is just recency bias. But I mean,
yeah, there we go. That was
was
what I was looking for earlier.
We got there in the end.
It's like
when you talk, Mira. So
it was like when but when people say like, that's recency bias, like, you have to look at that kind of stuff. Like, you can't just omit his whole 2019 run and like 100% put that in.
You have to look at it, but you have to look at everything. That's not the only thing you got to look at.
That's true. But I mean, then when you have players, Sneaky's off the team because he performed bad, he's not as aggressive as he should be. All these fucking reasons. But a lot of that came out that Zazel was the reason why Sneaky couldn't be that lane dominant person. Granted, he's never been that lane dominant person, but that bot lane was just like a lot more passive than normal. And they said that's strictly because Zazel. Like, that come out by a lot of people saying that shit.
I mean, that we can speculate on that, but this is going to be the first time that we see Zazel with a different kind of bot lane, and I think that will be the determining factor of how is Zazel's playstyle.
Also, you got to factor in he is pairing up with someone he already knows their jungle playstyle, and remember, jungle and support duo are going to be the strongest thing, I think, because when you look at how strong the jungle is going to be, that camping jungle playstyle is really not going to work anymore. If one jungler picks a side to camp, they're probably going to lose. Like, that really is not going to work. We've already seen it in matches in the other better regions. If a jungler chooses to play towards one style of the map, it is not going to work effectively. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm saying that it's not showing that it will work consistently. But I digress.
No, I just don't think that, like, Zazel linking up with Bang is going to be what that team needs, like, to see. Like, I just don't see it. Like,
I'm not saying that they're going to win because of Zazel and Bang. I think that they're my biggest question marks, like I said before, on the team, but I don't think they're as bad as people are making it sound. I really don't.
No.
I think that this is easily a playoff team.
So
I can see them in playoff.
That's a fourth place team for you, and Miro, your fourth place team was what?
CLG.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's actually further than the other two. All right. Okay. Why CLG fourth?
Yeah, I'll give that.
It's not gonna be because of Ruin. Like,
well, that's good.
It's because of Wiggly.
I really wish they would fucking got rid of this guy, man. Like, I saw his like Twitter post and he was like, "Oh, I'm glad CLG is giving me another split to prove myself." Like, shut that bullshit up. Like, him and Wiggly said the same thing. Like, man, fuck out of here. But I do think Wiggly was pretty decent in his split. I mean, his 2019 like summer, I think it was like he was actually pretty much popping off consistently. I think when the playoffs came, the guys kind of became invisible. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but I still think he has room to grow on COG, and they're doing something with the kid that C9 wasn't doing, and he's making his moves. I don't think he's a top tier jungler by any standards, but I think he is what this team needs. Like, they don't need a star spin scare. They don't need a Dardock or someone. A Wiggly is good for this team. And then, like I said, I mean, you guys know, like, I love Crown. Like, I don't think he's the greatest fucking mid laner. I do think this guy, like, it was a fucking reason. Like, him and Meteos on Optic, like, that's something that I don't think can just be undersold, that him and Meteos were fucking, they were carrying that team, like, single-handedly carrying that team. Like, I feel like that was a super big upgrade for COG in the mid lane. And Stixay and Smoothie. Stixay, as much as you guys want to hate on him or whatever, his stats don't lie. Like, this guy is still one of the top 80 carries in the league. Like, I mean, as much as we have the recency bias with Cody's son going to Worlds and doing his little shit over there, Stixay is still, like, I think, like, second, third mid lane. I mean, not mid, but 80 carry in the league as far as, like, stats goes.
Second
I mean,
third?
fuck yeah. Stats goes. In summer, he was. I mean, you gotta go back and look the shit up.
This guy's going
And not to
ham.
mention, Double
He's
Lift.
like the
Double
sixth
Lift.
best ADC.
Double Lift has even came out and said that, like, he thinks 6-8 is like one of the only aggressive mid laners that
Double
make.
Lift. He doesn't
Fuck
even
that-
know what he's.
You can't say fuck Double Lift and then ride PoE's dick. Like, that doesn't sound right. Like, no, he has the best.
But at least PoE's actually made the playoffs at Worlds, so.
Oh, Misfits, we're gonna go back to that shit? Like, come on, guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck has he done since then? Nothing. All right, then.
What if Double Lift?
I mean, Double Lift has a lot more on his title than fucking PoE. I mean, I'm not even a Double Lift fan,
Who
but
did PoE beat in his group to go to? Oh yeah, TSM. Oh, who was on Double Lift, wasn't he? Oh yeah. And who was that meta centered around? ADCs, but they still lost in the easiest group.
I'm just saying.
That's,
I'm just saying.
interesting, isn't it?
what has PoE gotten anything done since? I mean, everyone wants to keep riding that Misfits run, like, which was a great run.
That Misfits run was because of Ignar. It was not because of. Oh my god, Ignar was just the best support in EU at that time. Ignar literally.
And Double F was the worst AD carry in his group.
I'm not gonna. Fuck that Double F guy. Here he's pretty bad, you know.
Bringing it back to
actually, who is
CLG and
it?
Stixay.
Sorry, but bring it back to CLG. Sorry about that, Mirror. Keep going.
I'm just saying, like, just
I actually agree with you though. I don't think Stixay's that bad. I think that he actually had a pretty good split last split.
I think CLG can finish anywhere between 7th and 3rd.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. I actually
he
think
said
they're more
between
around
7th
like
and what,
7th to 5th.
He's actually said that for. He's actually said that for every
no.
other team. Let's be honest. It's been second through seventh. You know, it's been the same.
I think their absolute peak is 3rd.
I mean, to be fair, they did get third last split, so getting them third this split wouldn't be too improbable. Like they got third last split. That's not improbable or impossible. They couldn't get third this split with upgrades.
Yes, but I think that's their peak. I don't think they can.
All right, so we're at what, third? All right, Hedgie, who is your third place team?
Okay, so my third place team's TSM. I think Cloud9 and TSM are like gonna fight for that second spot as fucking normal. I think they're both reasonably tightly contested in terms of rosters. I think again, TSM has quite a good roster, but I think they're the most overrated team in terms of the 10 teams. I think they're going to be the most overrated because I think people are going to think they're going to win the split or contest TO when they're not. And you really start breaking down this roster. Yeah, on paper, it's really good. But then you start thinking about, where these players have come from, done, and you go, oh, so Bjergsen, obviously an amazing mid laner. Still, I'd say second best mid laner in NA behind Jensen. And he's a fantastic player, and I think he's going to, hold them there. And they're going to make I think they'll absolutely make top 3, but where they go from there will be interesting. I think Cubby, he's quite a good ADC, but I think he's a bit overrated. I don't think he was incredible in Europe. I think he was quite good, but I think he was probably the 4th or 5th best ADC in Europe. You had upsets, and this is without Forgiven playing, by the way, who's definitely the best. Perks.
Snorts crack.
That's a bold statement.
That was he did a whole line right there.
Perks.
Casually snorts blunt.
Perks, Reckless, and Upset were all better than Cobby in Europe. You then have Daldok, who's obviously interesting player. Obviously, he's had a lot of success, but he's also had team jumping and kind of just yikes over the years. With he's a very talented player, but we're gonna have to see how he works on this team. And I think he'll be good, but again, a lot of things have to click for this roster to be good. Biofrost, fantastic support, and I think that will be a really solid bot lane, Cobby and Biofrost. I'm looking forward to seeing them in action. But Broken Blade again, he had a bit of a bad split. Like he had one good split and then one bad split. So I guess you can't really say he's elite, but I guess he's quite a good top laner. So I think I like him. I think he's a good player, but I think this team has a lot of question marks, but they also have a lot of potential. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this new TSM, honestly, and I hope they lose because I hate them. But you know,
Death Mango, what is your third place
we'll see
team?
how they go.
So
they could finish.
This did hurt me a little bit, but my third place team is actually going to be Cloud9.
Yeah, that's fair.
And and so my main reasoning behind it is, as much as I like Blabber and as much as I think he's going to come in and be a very good jungler, he hasn't had a full split. He still needs to prove himself and that he can be consistent. And then kind of the same thing with Sven and Vulcan. I watched Vulcan for a whole year last year, and he's very, very good. There's no question about that. But how is he going to gel with Sven? Sven? How do you say it? Sven?
They traded Sven. They traded Sven for Sven.
Yeah, I know, dude. Jesus Christ. But so because he didn't have as bad of a year as people will say with TSM, but he definitely has a lot to prove. That whole bot lane has a lot to prove. So my main reason why I'm putting Cloud9 at 3 and not TSM is I actually think there's more question marks about the Cloud9 roster than there is about the TSM.
1 second, because I think we're all gonna have like the same 2 or 3. Miru, who's your third place team?
I just like to say I'm surprised that Hedgie put TSM at number 3 because I'm pretty sure this guy was shitting on Blabber like the whole fucking time. So super surprised.
Sure.
But yeah, C9 is number 3 for me also.
All right, so C9 and TSM are between you guys is like third and second, so we can talk about them both. All right, so why? Okay, so let's try about this from the other side. Why would Cloud9 take over that higher spot from TSM with in theory worse players?
I have to say just strictly from. Go ahead.
Okay, don't worry.
No, you go ahead, Mir.
I thought he was asking that question to me because
no, it's okay. It's to all of you. Why would Cloud9 take over that spot from TSM when TSM have Dardoch and Bjergsen and Biofrost again?
Well, I think for me, I think stuff just has to go wrong for TSM. I feel like just the whole Dardoch thing, not him blowing up and issues or whatnot, just strictly that team just doesn't work together. We thought Sven and Mithy and that whole roster was just going to be this is amazing roster, but it didn't work together. And C9 and Reaper, they just have some fucking way of just pulling out weird shit out of their ass. They just pull the best out of their players, and I feel like that, to me, first and second, I mean not first, but second and third for C9 and TSM, that's just, it's a toss up between, they're really fucking equal.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I just I strictly think on paper TSM should be better because I just don't think Blabber is better than Dardoch. I mean, I hope that he is. Because I'm a C9 fan and whatnot. But I just don't. That would have to be the only way for them to actually C9 to get above TSM. Stuff just Broken Blade is back to his 2019 form. Dardoch, he isn't doing shit. Bjergsen is just kind of being fucking Bjergsen, and Cobby and Barfoss just didn't work out. I don't fucking know. Stuff just has to go wrong for them to drop below C9. I don't see it happening, But that's just for me, like why I don't think C9 would be better.
I just can't think C9 would be better within theory. Like Bjergsen and Dardoch are what at worst first to second place best mid and jungler. That is gonna mean so much though. Like I think people are vastly sleeping on how much that's gonna mean though. Like I love Cloud9. They're gonna be somewhere between like fourth, second, and third, but you gotta factor in TSM do kind of have the better players. Like at some
you guys
point,
are overrating Dardoch.
no. See, that's the thing though. He's
Are you saying mid jungle duo synergy as far as being like first to second, or skill level?
I think in both categories. I think both categories.
Skill level? What the fuck? No,
I think it's second best.
As synergy, I can say that, but as skill level, I do not think Dardoch's the second best fucking jungler in NA.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I think he's like fourth or fifth.
Yeah, like, yeah, Brox's Finn, Meteos is better, like
100% better. Yeah, Meteos is probably 100%.
I mean, even if you're pairing up like a fourth or a third best jungler to like a second or first place mid laner, that's still gonna be pretty good.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have to just kind of wait and see how Dardoch plays with TSM though, because we haven't seen him play in a while, and at least to my knowledge, so far every team that he's been on, he hasn't really been that happy with the team. But with TSM, he's already boys with Bjergsen, and I think Bjergsen is one of those kind of guys and one of those kind of players where he's just kind of naturally a leader. And I think he's going to be able to kind of control Dardoch, if you know what I mean. I think Dardoch is going to be happy on this team, and I think that's going to show. So I actually actually have a lot of faith in Dardoch, and I think he's going to do pretty well. That's why I have TSM above Cloud9, because again, I feel like Cloud9 has, with their roster changes, has, at least to me, more question marks than TSM does with their roster changes.
Now let's look at it from the Cloud9 aspect. You guys have Cloud9 between what, second and third, right? So in
feel
theory,
like I should defend my
sure,
my position on this. So with Cloud9, I still think it's obviously, and I think it's definitely comparable to TSM's. I think the main thing I look at, the two rosters and I compare a bit is, I think Licorice is the best player between the two teams. My opinion, I think he's an absolute monster. He's definitely like clearly better than Broken Blade. And then I think C9 have got a massive, I think, huge upgrade on their bot lane. I think Sven and Vulcan are a lot better than Sneaky and Zazel. And I think they're definitely comparable to Kobe and Biofrost. I think I'd definitely argue Vulcan's better than Biofrost. I'm not sure if you guys would that one. Like, I think they're about even. They're kind of different players, but I think Vulcan's probably a bit more talented than Biofrost, and Biofrost is probably a bit more
seasoned.
I don't know, probably a bit more better at the macro and just playing a bit safer and that sort of stuff. Like, I think they're a bit different in terms of playstyle, but I think Sven and Vulcan are very comparable to Kobe and Biofrost.
I can see that.
yeah, they're kind of like almost the exact same in some ways.
Yeah. I think it depends how Sven likes his new support though, because he really hasn't been that pleased with, or hasn't really looked that great besides with Mithy.
I mean,
I'm very, very worried about how Reaper's drafting is going to come into play with this new roster, particularly because I think it's even more aggressive of a roster than we had last time. So we're going to pick these really early game comps, particularly with Blabber as our jungler. But I think Blabber could be better than Dardoch. I think Blabber has a really good ceiling, but he just needs to fix up a few major aspects of his game. And then Niski, really good.
Well, because you guys have C9 between like second and third. So what I was gonna say was that they have question marks in their roster too. So what perpetuates them all the way up to second and third place while the other rosters have those question marks as well? Because they, in theory, have worse players too, like Niski, Blabber to some extent. Vulcan and Sven are also unproven.
For me, it's Bjergsen, man. That for me it's Bjergsen. Like, that fucking guy is just insane, man. Like that. I can't remember what game that was. I think it was in 2018 spring where they was playing in the playoffs, and C9 was versus those guys, and like they were winning, and all of a sudden, like Beerson he was on the collie, he just did some funky shit, and next thing you know,
that was
like,
C9 playing bad.
Like, I mean, but like it's just like
he was
Beerson
insane.
is capable of that kind of shit. Like I don't think there's any world where I'm like, yeah, Niski, he could be better than Beerson. Like, nah, man. Like it's just Beerson. The guy's fucking good. Like I do think we, like Licorice, like he is better than Broken Blade and whatnot, and like everyone else can kind of be a toss up. I just feel like Beerson is just that he's an X factor, man. Like he's that guy to where you just toss him the ball and he's going to go do some shit with it. Like if given the fucking tools for it. Like I can't never count that guy out.
I think you seem to say the same thing about. I'd say the same thing about Licorice comparing to 100 Thieves or a CLG or like a. I think he's just that player. Like I just think he's better than anyone on CLG, anyone on 100 Thieves, anyone on TSM, any one of these teams, and that star power. And then you're putting a really good roster around them as well. I think Sven and Vulcan are probably going to be second or third best bot lane. I think Niski's going to be a top 3 mid. I think Blubber is going to come. Blubber's the big question mark, and I think hopefully he'll come through and be like a top 3-4 jungler, which is a big ask. But
also to throw in, like Blabber already has synergy with Licorice and Niski, like because they've been playing, they split time shit. So I mean, like that's something to actually like weigh in that that spring split. He's going to come in a lot further ahead of the game than some of these other guys like Dardo Beerson, Bronx Jensen, and whatnot. So I'm going to be surprised.
It's just about if he can be consistent, because this is going to be his first time really being the guy for a split, for a full split. How consistent can Blabber be for an entire split?
I think his highest ceiling is like 4th, 5th place, maybe.
Ooh. Really?
Like how much better can he actually really get? Like you guys have said Broxham, Meteos, Dardoch, all those other players like Smithy. I think his highest placing is like maybe 4th or 5th. But that's not bad.
Just joined. Like
I don't know. I think it's, for me, it's tough to say. I don't know what his ceiling is yet. I gotta watch him play more. I haven't been able to really see him gel.
But we actually have seen him play enough. Remember when he came in and
I'm saying for me, I haven't.
Yeah. But it's just that when you saw him come in for that 2018 split where they had that incredible run, we did see him play for a lot of the weeks. Like we kind of know what player he is at this point.
I mean, but like, and Brox are the only junglers he can't be better than this split. Or like, I just don't think he is 99% sure he won't. Like, I think everyone else he could potentially be better than if he really reforms. Meteos is like wishy-washy. Like, I think he won't be better than Meteos, but I don't think Meteos is like an absolute monster. Meteos is really good, but I don't think he's that elite jungler. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like
I can get behind that. Like as far as just this split, like I can't see him topping out at 3. Like I don't think.
I think you put Sven Skaren or Broxer on your team, and you're a good team straight away. Like it's pretty hard to make yourself a bad team. Evil geniuses have tried their best to do that, but like I think he'll be pretty good.
Well, I mean, I say you guys will see my power rankings in a separate video, but now it's spoiler alert. We have TL at number 1. Did you guys think there was me anybody different? There's TL number 1 for people who are watching the video. It's literally TL number 1. Best bot lane, best everything. TL win worlds. All right, video's over. North America wins worlds. Just kidding. Why do you guys think TL?
They have the best support, not the best ADC.
Oh, whoa. All right. What? Crack? What?
Actually, no. They have the best ADC. Just like
So you guys can all go. You have TL at first. Do you think TL are going to get the 5-peat?
Not necessarily. It's kind of more or less, at least for me, it's preseason power rankings. We haven't seen any of the teams play, but you would just have to be silly not to put the team that has 4-peat not in first. They give you no reason not to in preseason. But it's going to be interesting to see how Broxa fits in, because, I mean, for me, I think Smithy was a big part of the team, a big voice in the team, and I think he did a very, very good job with directing the team, if that makes sense. Broxa obviously has way more upside in a mechanical standpoint and whatnot, but It depends. It depends how does he play around the laners. What is he going to do differently than Smithy?
He synergizes well with, because Jensen has a problem always with synergizing with junglers. He's did it with Meteos, Rush, Svenskeren he looked pretty okay with, but outside of that, I mean, it's him. I think that he just doesn't synergize well with other junglers, or like one jungler's playstyle does not synergize well with him.
I got a hot take.
Oh lord, because you had so
Hot
many
take.
of those.
C9 only team that could win the split off TL. Potentially.
You
I don't
saved
think any other
yourself.
team has the potential to beat TL in the final.
They're the only team that has the
Including
potential.
TSM. Yep. Including TSM. Any other team... Oh, okay, no. C9 is the only team that has the potential to beat Team Liquid in the final. I don't think TSM do.
I get it.
Do not have a chance. I don't think they have a chance if they get into the final.
Well, that's a hot take, all right.
That is very hot take. That's a hot
'Cause-
stove take.
Now, my reasoning for it is C9 is the only team that has a legitimate advantage on a part of the map.
And where would that be?
In
Where-
player. Licorice is better, significantly better than Impact. That's it.
Significant.
But the thing with Impact though is he has done nothing but prove that it almost, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but he can almost just nullify it because he's always going to be in the game. It's not like Licorice is going to take over the game from topside. He's going to have to snowball somewhere else because Impact, and they're really, especially in all the competitive play that he has played internationally, here, anywhere, he has proven time and time again that he can stay in the game no matter what. So that would be the only thing why if Cloud9, or if you're TL and you're looking at Cloud9 and you're gonna pick, all right, where is the place that I want them to be better than us at, like definitively, it's probably going to be the top lane because I have so much faith in Impact that he's still going to have a say on the game. And he's not going to let Licorice completely take over the game from topside. He's going to have to snowball somewhere else.
I just compare the two rosters and I look at... So I think Cloud9 has a better top laner. Like, I know Impact's so good at holding the game and, you know, letting a lead snowball. And that's
I'm not disagreeing with you. I would say Licorice is probably better than Impact in a carry aspect. But I just... If we're talking about winning the game, though, I don't think Licorice is going to be able to just straight up win the game through topside. He's going to have to make advantages somewhere else on the map because Impact is just that kind of player. He's not going to allow you to just straight up stomp and win the whole game off topside.
I think Niski can stand up to Jensen. I think Jensen's better, but I think Niski... Like, you watch the series 2019 summer, like, Niski played really well in some of those games. Like, he almost beat Jensen throughout the series. Like, he probably lost, I think he lost maybe... They kind of went, like, even in 1 or 2 games, and then Jensen really took over in a few games, and then Niski took over in a few games. So it was pretty even. So if Niski could come up to Jensen, and then... Tell you what, Sven and Vulcan hate double lifting core JJ. They don't like them one bit, and I think that could be a big X factor. Like, they could beat them in that bot lane matchup. And
I think Sven
your problem's going to be...
He definitely has a lot to prove.
But it's the thing is that I think when it comes to them, I think Sven can hold double lift off. I don't know what kind of crack he was smoking saying Sven's not good. I think that it really comes down to supports, because if you play any game, even solo queue kind of molds into this, is that a support does kind of dictate how your lane is gonna go. So if Vulcan can just be a little bit better than Core JJ at very key clutch points, then it can be a big difference. But that's also factoring in C9 have to get through TSM and also have to get to the finals, because you know that those points also come into play as well.
I think TSM would also have a shot.
Yeah, and the issue with that is that TL, like last year, TL's issue was that, okay, if you just beat Impact and Smithy, then you're probably going to win. Well, coming into this year, theoretically, if they have a better jungler, which I think Brox is better, and then you have a point where Impact is actually improved, well, where do you actually beat them at now? They technically have a really solid top side and like the best mid to support side of the best bot side of the game. or in the league. Sorry. So
if you're team solo mid and you're going up against Team Liquid, if you're just looking at the rosters
You have no
and you're going, how am I going to win this game? Your best chance of winning this game is going to be Dardoch, focus mid to bot side
team,
of the map.
better ward that lane up.
No, seriously, I think that is your best chance of beating Team Liquid if you're team solo mid. You play through Bjergsen, you play through the bot, or not even play through the bot side necessarily, but be there whenever you need to be there for counter ganks and whatnot. And play through Bjergsen, try to get mid control, turn that into objectives with the dragon, and maybe kind of leave Broken Blade on an island. Like you say, hey, here you go, take Maokai and just don't lose super fucking hard. Like, just be relevant. Yeah, I'm just using Maokai as an example. Okay, I mean, it's not like I'm just saying like stay relevant. Don't make this a 5v4. Stay in the game. Don't let Impact destroy you top lane.
Mirror, what do you think?
Dude, I hate fucking talking about TL. Fuck those guys. I think just like as far as like them getting the 5P or whatever the fuck, like I think they're gonna have a lot harder of a time than they did previously.
I 100% agree with that.
There's a lot of teams that could
100%
just do some
disagree.
damage, man. Like I'm not saying they can't do it. Like I think they can still get the 5P, but I think it'll be a lot harder. Like
I think they're still obviously the front runner to 5P, but I think a lot of people are really underestimating the impact Smithy had on the team.
Yeah, like I don't think they're gonna come out the gate just as dominant as they was. Like you say, like that whole them losing to Smithy, man. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you just don't see. You know, exactly. Like Smithy, he's not that star player. He's that guy who he helps his lanes out, and like I don't look at Brox as that kind of person. Like if anything, that was an issue Broxa had as far as playing on Fnatic was that he didn't know where to go. Like because Bwipo needed him, fucking Nemesis wanted help, Reckless wanted him in his lane, and he just could not facilitate everyone and try to do that stuff. Smithy can do that. He's known to be able to actually go to every lane and just kind of give them a little to get them where they need to be. And Brock's like
at the right times. So at the right times, he seems to always be at the right spot at the right time. At least that was at least for the most part. I'm talking about Smithy.
I think Brox's issue is that anywhere to exploit him is that he does like to camp towards one side of the map, which we've said before is going to be a problem with that going into the split because of how the jungle changed. So the issue is like, where do you exploit them at? Well, at least in draft, because they're always going to draft either the most. It's really hard to say because they're always going to be.
Their drafting really deteriorates internationally. I don't know why. They have really decent drafting. Domestically, like against Cloud9, you look at their drafts and they're like, yeah, okay, that's actually really good. And then they go internationally and they just, I don't know what happens. It just falls apart. Like it's terrible. I think Brox is a massive upgrade over Smithy though.
I think he is too. And the thing is that Core JJ, I think as a player, will not allow them to lose to these other bottom tier teams. Like he's okay with them losing to like probably TSM or Cloud9 because that's like their only competition really, but. It's like Doublelift. Do you ever not see him as like the best ADC here? Like he's won everything since what we can remember. Like it'd be kind of unfair if we don't put him as the best ADC in the league. At that point, it's like, how many splits will he actually have to prove that?
Okay, hot take. I think he's the best.
Again?
I think he's the best ADC in the league, but I don't think he's in the top 5 players in the league.
Someone say
that's like almost, if you want to get into that, that's almost a whole nother podcast right there.
He's breaking all my ideas out here.
Core JJ's 1. Licorice is 2nd. Jensen's 3. Bjergsen's 4th. Brox is 5. Doublelift.
Oh, that's how teams can exploit TL. I just think of it right now. They do like to play fairly slow to a certain point. They're not like
that. Might change with Broxa though.
Fucking hell, man. This is why I have you guys here. You guys bring me in, so when I do my own video, it's like you guys give me all those points. Okay, so these are our Rift rival teams too. So your Rift rival teams for you guys are TSM, Cloud9, and Team Liquid. The same.
Brox's doesn't have to play. He doesn't. Always
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to, but he is definitely more keen to playing fast than Nick Smithy was.
Jensen and Impact are very. They're pretty flexible, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of going into it expecting Broxa to not maybe give the most attention to Impact, like maybe counter ganks and whatnot, but not, hey, Impact, I'm coming up top and we are going to carry this game through the top side. I feel like he'll do that more.
Attention mid,
Bot
right?
mid.
Yeah, I think Brox is probably gonna do what he did in Fnatic, like in 2018 with Core J, with like Hill is saying, be a strong jungle support duo. Like if you're just thinking like that as a duo, that's actually a really good duo. Core JJ
and yeah, because you'll have Core JJ roaming mid as well, getting plays done mid. I think that is definitely a possibility, and they could.
Yeah.
Like even with all this factoring in, even with all this stuff factoring in, they actually see, if you look at it from the even standpoint, they're actually even better. If you actually kind of synergize with Broxo, they're actually better as a team.
Of course they are.
I think I want to see, before I make that call, I want to see how they actually play together. I want to see how it gels and how it works. That's the hardest thing with these preseason power rankings, right? Is there's a whole lot of question marks, and the only way those get answered is whenever the teams start.
And everyone's gonna say we're wrong after week one, because it's literally week one's determine everything for people.
Because we probably will be.
After week one, the only two teams that are two are Gold Guardian.
What if they start like 8-0 and we're all just fucking wrong and C9 is like 6? That'd be horrible.
I'd be super happy for Golden Guardians. Like I said, I want to kind of be wrong about them. I really want Golden Glue to do well, but I just don't think the lowest happening.
Do you guys think the lowest C9 could finish is 6th or 7th?
I think
6th. I think there's absolutely no way they don't make playoffs.
They've missed playoffs like once in their entire thing. Yeah, their lowest, at worst, maybe lowest is 5th and 6th.
Yeah. See, I'd say Evil Geniuses, CLG, 100 Thieves, and FlyQuest could all finish in front of them, possibly. A lot has to go wrong.
You are so high on FlyQuest.
He is choking
you
up.
Are so high on
dude.
FlyQuest.
I'm saying, I went to the LCS and I touched Power of Evil in his hand. Like we shook hands. Do you want me to he's good. He's a good dude. I love him. I called him Danish when he's German. He told me that. I was like, oh crap. Yeah,
you're actually a racist.
Funny. No, I'm not. I thought he was Danish.
So racist. No, that's. Dude, I'm gonna call you white now.
My mom said my dad was white, so I actually won there. My work said I'm a black guy trapped in a white man's body.
Jeez, I'm not even gonna stop that.
Oh god, we're just having some fun, guys, because there's gonna be some. I swear to you, man, there's some sensitive internet pussies out there. Oh my god, he said C9's gonna finish 6th. I'm gonna dislike his video. Like fucking bastards out there, man. But overall, I think most of your power games were good. Obviously, like I said before, you guys have the floor because obviously this is like, I want you guys to have your time to shine because I get my own time to shine literally in every single video. Plus, I don't want our opinions to conflict and having it, obviously like I influence yours or you influence mine. Just want to let you guys have the floor. Any other like hot Hedgie's 10 millionth hot takes or anything you want to say before we leave or any more things we didn't discuss?
Before I head out, I'll just want to go through 1 to 10 real quick so that we've already explained everything. I just want to let everybody know what my power rankings are from 1 to 10 real quick. Number 1, Liquid, 2, TSM, 3, C9, 4, EG, 5, 100 Thieves, 6, CLG, 7, Dignitas, 8, FlyQuest, 9, Immortals, 10, Golden Guardians.
Hedgie?
Alright, so I have number 1, TL, number 2, C9, number 3, TSM, number 4, FlyQuest, number 5, 100 Thieves, number 6, CLG, number 7, Evil Geniuses, number 8, Immortals, number 9, Golden Guardians, and number 10, Dignitas.
Oh, damn, you think Golden... What? Okay.
What?
Golden Guardians better than fucking Dig. Damn, dude.
Yeah, Golden Gully's okay.
Okay.
It's gotta be... It's that FBI, man. That Australian bro synergy right there. Holy crap.
This man's the biasness. For me, I'll go...
Wait.
Number 1 would be TL, 2 TSM, 3 C9, 4 COG, 5 100 Thieves, 6 EG, 7 is FlyQuest, 8 is Dig, 9 is Immortals, and 10th is Golden Guardian.
All right, you guys want to place a bet on these power rankings? Like because it's gonna be harder for Hedgie. Like the loser has to give someone like $5 on RP or some shit.
Let me see the teams play week 1. Give you my after week 1 power rankings, and then I'm down.
All right, so after week 1, do you guys agree, or you don't want to? I'm not want to put you up.
I'm about that life.
You gotta do it. It's only $5. If you guys are broke, poor, hey, it's all good. Times are rough, but the loser has to gift
$5.
$5 in RP, or you can gift however much you want. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The loser.
How is this gonna work?
Well, for you it's gonna be harder. You're in Australia, but.
Well, judging your power rankings, I don't think we have to worry about it. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. It was a joke.
Oh, goodness.
Really.
He waited so long for that one. He waited so long for that one. He's like, I'm going to get him right now. I'm going to get him.
What do you have against FlyQuest, man?
Everything.
Yeah, a lot.
They're ran by the Milwaukee Bucks, and I mean, that should already say enough. But
the Milwaukee Bucks are 31-5.
After how many years?
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, 30 years. They had like 2 good years.
Win the championship.
The Lakers are gonna win the championship. What kind of crack are you on? What?
The Lakers are fucking overrated.
Oh my god, Miru, take this man out, Miru. Come on, man. The Crown's best mid. Come on, help me out, somebody. You guys suck.
The Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers aren't winning. The Lakers aren't winning the West.
So right when we hold that, right when we hold the trophy at the end of the season with the confetti going down our faces while your team is in actually, 5th place, we'll be good.
Give me a sec.
Oh my god.
Give me a sec.
He's gonna.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
well, I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you.
All right.
I'm here to tell you. Oh, sick.
All right. Guys.
They're not even.
Like, comment,
they're
subscribe.
Not even making it.
Most of all, enjoy.
They're not even making it out of the. No, actually not.
On the way. Way of Life Esports is signing out, and also what's your team? The Timberwolves. Yeah,
They're
going fantastic. All right, they're making.
How many rings? How many rings do the Timberwolves have? Yeah, as many as I have women. 0. Yeah.
Is anyone watching Casper Cup?
Oh, I am. That shit is.
Yeah.
I'm not right now, but I have been.
Dude,
yes.
Have you seen Gen G freaking like blow their? They literally played yesterday like they had brain cancer.
Okay, before y'all leave, who do y'all got for today's game?